Oh, you dolly-poly sleep as moon, don't dare let her tremble for the way it should.
Two beautiful girls that would end up vying for the love of one guy. It started out as an online romantic feud that one night turned into a physical altercation, which would leave one fighting for their life. This is the case of Rachel Wade. Rachel Wade was born on February 27, 1990, in Pinellas Park, Florida. A beautiful girl, described by many as the girl every girl wanted to be and every guy wanted to be with. When she turned 19, she became fiercely independent. She had her own apartment and was currently working as a waitress at a local Applebee's. Rachel had a lot of things going for her that even include romance. For at the time, she was dating Josh Comancho. Rachel and Josh knew each other ever since elementary, but it wouldn't be until high school when the chemistry started forming between the two. Many people describe Josh as a player, bad boy, wannabe thug, and they constantly warned Rachel not to get involved with him. But it was too late. Rachel was mesmerized. The two started dating, and Rachel Wade felt in her heart that she had found the one. But little did she know that Josh was hiding a secret. She wasn't the only one Josh was seeing at the time they were together, because besides Rachel, Josh Comancho was also dating another girl named Sarah Ludeman. Sarah was described as a sweet, innocent daddy's girl. One night, she met Josh at a Chick-fil-A where he was working, and like Rachel, he turned on the bad boy charm. And before you knew it, Sarah was putty in Josh's hand. Josh went on to date both girls for months, with neither one of them ever knowing that he was two-timing them. But all of that changed when one day while checking social media, Sarah saw a picture of Josh and Rachel Wade together. When she confronted him, Josh admitted that all during the time he was with her, he was also seeing and sleeping with Rachel as well. Now you would think, after hearing her boyfriend proudly admit that he was sleeping with another girl while being with her, Sarah would be upset and she would dump him, right? In this case, Sarah wasn't mad at Josh. She was mad at Rachel. So Sarah Ludeman started posting pictures of her and Josh together as a way of telling Rachel to back off. And before you knew it, Rachel Wade and Sarah Ludeman were in an all-out competitive tug-of-war, and Josh Comancho was the prize. While Rachel and Sarah spent days fighting with each other online with threatening texts and voice messages, Josh, however, continued to reap the benefits of dating and sleeping with both girls, while loving every second of being fought over. Eventually, the trash talking and online fighting would turn into physical confrontations and harassment, mostly coming from Sarah Ludeman's side. Reports from many sources state that Sarah and her friends would constantly go to the Applebee's restaurant where Rachel worked at and would pick at her. Like one event explained by Rachel Wade's friend, Ashley DeCosta, on Thursdays, the restaurant would host karaoke night, and Sarah and some of her friends got up and sang the song Girl Fight by Brooke Valentine. In doing so, they would point at and taunt Rachel. Another time was when Sarah and some of her friends chased Rachel down in Sarah's car and they attacked her with silly string. Police were called and charges were almost pressed, but somehow Sarah was able to talk Rachel out of it. All in all, The bitter rivalry between Rachel Wade and Sarah Ludeman was a ticking time bomb. That was until one night, it exploded. On the evening of April 14, 2009, Rachel Wade was alone when Sarah showed up making threats at her apartment. Terrified because she didn't know if Sarah had friends, Rachel waited for Sarah to leave. When she finally did, Rachel left and headed to her ex-boyfriend's house. But before she left, she grabbed a steak knife. Meanwhile, Sarah goes over to Josh's place to play video games and spend time with him. Around 11 p.m., Josh gets a text. It's from Rachel. This enrages Sarah, for she figures that as soon as she left, Rachel would swoop in on Josh as soon as he was alone. But around midnight, Sarah leaves with Josh's sister to go to McDonald's. When along the way, one of Sarah's friends stops her and tells her that Rachel is over her ex-boyfriend's house. So instead of going to McDonald's with Josh's sister, Sarah Ludeman turns around and makes a route for Rachel. When she makes it, the two fight it out. The fight is a barrage of flying fists and hair pulling. It lasts for only a moment until it happened. Rachel pulls out the knife and stabs Sarah twice. Once in the shoulder and the other in the chest. Unfortunately, the stab to Sarah's chest punctures her heart. While Sarah's friends call 911, Sarah makes a call to Josh telling him what happened. Paramedics arrive and take Sarah to the hospital, but it's too late. Around 2:20 a.m., Sarah Ludeman was pronounced dead. That same night, police arrested Rachel Wade, and she was charged with second-degree murder. During her trial, while prosecutors painted Rachel as a vindictive girlfriend, defense argued Rachel's act was in self-defense, and that probably would have been the case had it not been for one thing: Sarah Ludeman's cell phone. 8 months before she stabbed Sarah Ludeman, Rachel Wade left this message.
Seriously, I told you to watch back and not to kill with him. Now your ass is mine, and I'm guaranteeing you I'm gonna murder you. I'm gonna kill you.
It would be the message that would seal her fate. Rachel was found guilty of second-degree murder and was sentenced to 27 years in prison. She is currently serving at the Florida Women's Reception Center in Ocala, Florida. During Rachel's trial, when asked what both Rachel and Sarah meant to him, Josh Comancho referred to them both as nothing serious, calling them just friends with benefits. A lot of people believe Josh Comancho should have held some responsibility for Sarah's death. And I'm like, for what? For being a player? Both Rachel Wade and Sarah Ludeman knew Josh Comancho was no good. They knew he was a player. They knew he was fooling around with both of them. Yet they chose to fight each other, trying to lay claim to a guy who only saw them as friends with benefits. But if you really want to blame somebody, blame their friends. For during this whole entire case, you heard that friends were involved, yet none of them took it upon themselves to pull either Rachel or Sarah or both of them to the side, smack them upside the head, and tell them how stupid they were being. Instead, what did they do? They instigated and they urged this confrontation. And now, the lives of the family of these two beautiful girls are forever changed, because neither of them was smart enough to tell them. This guy isn't worth it. I'm Psycho Rick. Thanks for watching.
For your dolly, sleep as moon, don't